This is RuVik Education, and today we're going to be beginning with the third part of Lektion 3, Lesson 3 of Class 5 Deutsch und ich second book. Before we begin, we're learning together, growing together. We may make some mistakes, but we'll try our best to give you the best information we can provide. So let's begin. Possessive pronoun. Also, I suggest you watch the previous parts because it will help you understand better. Possessive pronoun basically means possessive pronouns. It shows some kind of possession, like mine, yours, hers. Like, for example, if you have a book, you would say, it's my book. How would you say that? Well, let's take a look at this table. It's a very important table and it's a very important topic in German, which will make you or help you understand many sentences very easily. So, if I talk about this first part of the table, let's take a look at that. If you learn this, then you can easily learn this because you simply have to add an E. Okay, but what exactly even is this? So whenever you're saying whenever you're saying this is my book, you will always say mine. If you have to say yours, you'll say thine. If you have to say his, you will say sein. If you have to say hers, you will say ihr. If you have to say yours, you'll say euer. If you have to say our, you have to say unser. If you have to say your or their kind of a formal your, then ihr with capital I, and there if you have to say ihr with small I. If you remember the basic table that we did of ich, du, sie, es, ihr, wir, sie, basically it's in the same format. Okay, you can go ahead and make this table. What's the key difference between this table and this table? The only difference is that whenever we're talking about any masculine thing like Vater, father, or a neutral thing like house, then we will use this table. Whenever we are talking about any feminine thing or any plural thing like Mutter or Lampfe or Bücher, then we'll simply add a E or an E to all of these same things. One difference you might see is between euer, because euer basically here it's against ihr. Okay, so that's what I want to tell you. Euer is nothing but the instead of adding a extra e, you will just replace r and e position. It will become eure, meine, deine, seine, ihre, eure, unsere, ihre, mein, dein, sein, ihr, euer, unser, ihr. Okay? So it's very simple. We did this actually right over here, I guess we discussed. Yeah. Here we had discussed about eine und einen, which you're no, it was not this actually. It's not this. Leave it. That's not what I wanted to say. Okay. Now we're moving ahead. This table is very important. Go ahead and write it down and learn it. It's possessive pronoun which shows possession. So even over here you can see mein Vater ist Arzt. My father is doctor. Father is masculine. That is why here we have mine. If here I had written, let's say mine will be there. The question comes if we have to add an E or not. Let's say here there was Mutter. So what would you write? Meine Mutter. If let's say here there was mine and here there was book. So will you add an E? No, you will not add an E because book is neutral. Let's say mine dash because mine, dein, sein, this will remain same. Ihr, euer, unser, ihr. This will remain same. The question comes if you have to add an E or not. So let's say it was mine Tasche bag. Comment what the answer will be. It will be based on the article of Tasche. Okay, now we are coming to Hallo, wie geht's? Hallo, wie geht es Ihnen? The answers that you can give to this question. Yeah, I did say that you can learn the fixed phrase mir geht es gut, but for now, let's not get into that. Let's take a look at some um, normal things that you can reply to hello wie geht es, which means hello how are you, and hello how are you. Both mean the same. The difference is that the first one is informal, the second one is formal. Hallo wie geht's? Danke, good. Thank you, good. The number of smileys tells us that how much good you are feeling right now. Sehr gut is very good. Prima is a great kind of. Fantastisch, that means fantastic. That's the best you can say. I'm feeling very good. I'm feeling fantastic. Nicht so gut is not so good. Es geht is like it's going. Yeah, it's just going. Things are just moving. That like that. It's not a very happy response, not a very bad one. So if someone asks you, "Hallo, wie geht's?" What will you write? Gut, sehr gut, prima, fantastisch, nicht so gut, or es geht? Right now, what would you say? Comment it down below. How are you feeling? Hello, guys. Wie geht's? Okay. So, yeah, you can talk to your friends like that. Moving to page number 37. Verb haben. Haben verb is a very important verb which we had discussed in part 2. Haben. Haben is simply to have. Sein and haben are two main verbs which always are seen together in many grammar topics because both of them are important. So first let's learn this little table over here of haben. We have already learned the table of sein. So ich habe, haben will become habe, du hast, sie ist, hat, ihr habt, wir, sie or sie has haben. So one thing I told you in the second part was that haben plus accusative. Haben is always used with accusative because it'll always contain one subject and another kind of thing. Okay, what exactly even is accusative? What even is nominative? I told you those are cases. What even are they? They are simply telling us the object, how many objects are or subjects are there in a sentence. So, for example, if I'll talk about nominative, then I will say, um, das ist mein. Das ist mein Hund. That is my dog. Here, the subject is my dog. Okay. So I'm talking about only one thing. Okay. Or, even a better sentence to make less confusion here would be mein Name, mein Name ist Ru. My name is Ru. So I'm talking only about myself. Or if I say the heißt Vic, heißt Vic. So that would mean his name is Vic. So we're only talking about Vic. That's one subject. But if I'll talk about accusative case, accusative case are almost every time we're talking about two things. For example, let's take a look at this sentence, this on the screen as you can see. Ich habe einen Bruder. If I only take this much sentence, right, you will see ich is one, ich habe einen Bruder. Two. So to have something, whenever we're talking about having something, you will always talk about two things. That's why this is accusative. Okay. And that is why there's einen here. Why is there einen here? Because as we have discussed, in accusative and nominative, I'll draw the tables again. Nominative is there, the, das, which becomes ein, eine, ein. But accusative is den, die, das, which becomes einen, eine, ein. One difference, that is only in masculine part. The rest is same. So that is why here there is einen. And eine switched. For feminine, it will remain the same. So no difference. So now we'll be continuing in the next part. So go ahead and watch that.